Good morning, and once again, welcome to my YouTube channel, Maths with Ease by Mr. Kamotho. And in this video, I want us to respond to a question in exam practice number 6 and question number 2. This is in conclusion to the topic. We have been looking at proportionality, and this question says, Olive finds that the number of pages of homework he writes is inversely proportional to the loudness of his music. The number of pages he writes is inversely proportional to the loudness of his music. Let us have that relationship, inversely proportional. We understood from the previous examples, every time we encounter the word inversely proportional, we think about a fraction. So the number of pages are inversely proportional to the loudness of the music. And there we are. So for us to put these two quantities into an equation, we have to bring in the constants of proportionality, whereby we write P is equals to K over L. And we have some details. When the volume control is set to 12, that is, the loudness is 12, he writes 4 pages, the number of pages. When we have the loudness as 12, he writes 4 pages. Part A of the question, if the volume control is set as 16, how many pages will he write? But before we get there, we have to use these two constants of proportionality already given, these two quantities already given, so that we can actually calculate the constants of proportionality. So we substitute this, and the number of pages is 4 is equals to K all over the loudness, which is 12. And this 4 is naturally over 1. And because we have two equal fractions, then we have all the permission to cross multiply, which is giving us K times 1. K is equals to 4 times 12, which is 48. And that is the constants of proportionality. So direct to answering part A of the question, if the volume control is set as 12, how many pages will he write? So the question is on pages, but the loudness is set as at 16. The loudness is set at 16. So pages is what we're looking for, is equals to, now the K over the loudness, because having found the K, now the equation between the pages and the loudness is P is equals to 48 over L. Now P is a variable, L is a variable, 48 is a constant. So we have P is equals to 48 over the loudness, which is 16. And as you can see, P is obviously again over 1. We can cross multiply and have 16P is equals to 48 times 1, which is 48. Dividing both sides by 16, we realize that the number of pages he has to write when the loudness is 16 is 48 over 16, which is 3 pages. So when the loudness is 16, he will write 3 pages. Let us go to part B of the question. Somebody is asking, Olive needs to write 6 pages to keep his teacher happy. Olive needs to write 6 pages to keep his teacher happy. What volume control settings should he use? The number of pages now is given 6. It is the loudness that remains now not known. And there we go. So he needs to write 6 pages, but the loudness has to be calculated. But we still have now to take this 6 and substitute in this relationship so that we now calculate the value of L. 6 is equals to 48 out of L. Again, this is 6 over 1. After cross multiplication, we have 6L is equals to 48. To get L, divide both sides by 6, and you realize that the loudness that he has to set his music to is 48 divided by 6, which is just 8. That is the loudness of his music. Thank you. Fine. Let us subscribe and share as we help out one another. Thank you.